I have a very questionable and challenging piece of wood. A friend of mine gave me this. Someone gave it to him and said it was a Cherry Burl. I know it's very hard, and he warned me about this, and before he gave it to me, he asked, well, if you want it, you can have it. It's full of bug holes, and it's got all kinds of inclusions in it, and it's kind of lopsided, and it's heavy and very dry. And it's about 11 inches in diameter. It was partially rounded when I got it, and I figured out where I wanted the center, and I just trimmed this off of it. It wasn't very much, but I wanted to get it close to in balance. And how did I decide where the center would be? Is because of this right here. This just falls away. So I also decided that this will be the top. That's the bottom because it's already going that direction to be a bowl. So that's how I chose that. We're all going to find out if this thing holds together and if it ends up looking pretty cool. But I am going to do that today. You hear one of my heaters going. It was 35 degrees this morning outside, and it's like 55 inside here, so I actually feel like I'm toasting. I'm going to get this mounted up, and well, we'll see what we can make out of it. Let me show you some of the things we're dealing with besides those wormholes. I'm touching the edge right here, and I come around to the straight across from it. That's at least 4 inches in from where I was at. I've heard a lot of people say that life is too short to turn bad wood. How do I know that's bad wood until I turn it? And you know what? A good friend gave me this, so I'm not going to call this bad wood. We're going to call it quite a challenge. I have no idea what RPM I'll get here. We're about ready to find out. Naturally, I have tailstock support. So that's kind of what I expected. A little over 400 for now. I've got my face shield on, and we're ready to see what we can do. I'll tell you what, you want to make sure everything is locked down too, because this is going to be pretty jumpy. I just resharpened, and I've been kind of studying this and see if I can explain what I've come up with. I'm looking at this width right here and wanting to keep that much of this nature here. If I brought this down to the bottom here, that means I could put that much more angle on it. I still won't be touching this. I still have room for a tenon because I'll have to cut back into here a little bit for the base. So that's what I think I'll do, is cut more angle on it. We'll keep that right through here, and it'll also avoid having an over thick bowl. Let me get my face shield back on, and we'll see if we can make this happen. Well, I'm going to stop right here, and I lost some of it up there. This was feathering out. It took a light cut, and the next thing I know it dropped down there. But I believe I want to shorten it anyways because of some cracks. I want to flatten the bottom just a little bit. I'll put a tenon on it, but I'll recess that into here just because I don't want to go up any farther here. So we're going to use my 5/8 bowl gouge again and do that. And we'll get the tenon on it, and then it's probably time to do some sanding. I put two different lines on here. The outside one is for the larger jaws that I have. I'm going to cut down to that one first and maybe make a decision on how it blends into the rest of the turning. Switching to the 1/2 inch bowl gouge, and we are doing about 830 RPM. Let's go ahead and do that with the skew. Not going to have any support there, but we have plenty elsewhere. Let's go ahead and try the chuck on here. Okay, oh boy, I don't know if it's going to work. I think that was just too close. Well, it's got a hold of it. I can't go any deeper, but it does have it. And that's about all I can do. They're not totally closed, so that's good. That was close. I think we're going to go with what we have. Okay, I'm going to bring the tailstock back up and do some finishing on this. I'm not going to sand it until we get it flipped around. I can't tell you for sure it's going to stay together to sand anything on the inside. I really have about all I can do here. I think I'm going to round this over. It will, I think it'll make this area look better. Go ahead and use the 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Take a little bit more off. If I didn't want to waste $1, I would go buy a lottery ticket. And you're asking, why would he do that? I just finished this cut. I looked up at the camera screen and it was black. The battery had gone dead. I took the SD card in the house to get the files off of it. It went dead the minute I stopped that cut. So you didn't miss anything. Maybe I will buy a lottery ticket. First thing I want to do is get this flat and turn past a couple little cracks that are up here. This 5/8 bowl gouge, and I think we're doing about 900 RPM now. Alright, it cuts pretty nice, but it doesn't get big long shavings, so it's going to take a little while. I have the lathe running in reverse. I've got a set screw on the chuck. It's just going to be easier because of this angle to get that area taken care of. And maybe then we can switch back over here. About 830 RPM, 1/2 inch bowl gouge. to go back to this side just to remove some material. I'm going to call that good, because we're close to getting maybe a little window in there. Okay, so I think I can go back to this side. I've got to resharpen both gouges though. Alright, I'm all sharpened up. I think we're making some progress. Looks like about 1.25 inches to go. I'm back running forward and I can reach this pretty good. 5/8 bowl gouge, freshly sharpened. And we need some more RPMs. That was 700. And I can actually get almost 900. So I've got a pretty deep inclusion right here, and it's wanting to catch every time I go by it on the gouge. So I'm going to take this small hollowing tool just until I get that cleaned out. Even that wants to grab. Get some nice smooth cuts, it'll be real nice. But it is really grabby. I gotta try to get back on that. So right here, this is about where that natural area is, and I don't really want to take much more off of that, but I have a ridge here. So I'm going to clean that up and blend it in, and then I have another ridge here going into the bottom. I've got enough stock on there, I could take another 1/8 inch and it'd be fine. And if I have to take an 1/8 inch here, that'll be okay as well, but I don't really want to take any more than that. I'm going to use the 5/8 bowl gouge and see if we can get this all smoothed up and we can actually start sanding it. I think we did it. That feels good, and that feels good. Wow. But I will go ahead and clean the rest of this up with the negative rake scraper. That's about right on center. Okay, I think that feels great. We'll go ahead and get set up and we'll sand this, and I think we made it. I'm going to sand this now and I'll show you a little bit of it, but I've got something else I'm going to do. I've kind of made up my mind, but I'll be sanding with the lathe running in reverse, and I think around 400, but because of these bug trails I might have to adjust it. Same thing on the inside, but I'll be turning the lathe forward. And it's fairly smooth, so I'll start with 100 grit. So let me get the dust collector going and I'll do a sanding, and I'll show you the next thing I want to do. And then like this. It's just a small portion of the sanding, and I will sand it up to probably 400. This now is what I've decided to do. I'm going to take the little Dremel tool, and a lot of these debris and the bug tracks already fell out. I'm going to start the dust collector again, but I plan on going through and cleaning them out like this one's done, and that one actually fell out. So I'm going to go in here like this, just try to clean it out. Same thing on this. Let's see if it's, see that dust coming out of there? That's why I want to turn the dust collector on. I don't really want to leave that in there. I think it looks better without it than filled in. So I'll be back when all that's done and we'll get a finish on it. It is now time to find out if life is too short to turn bad wood. Now, I'm not saying this is bad wood at all. It has some issues. Some little critter was living in there. It's got an inclusion and more critters. That doesn't make it bad. Let's see what this grain looks like. I think it's going to be really nice. Shellac based sanding sealer. That's the first I've seen that color. I would say this was worth it. That has got some rich colors to it. Look at that. Let's see what this looks like. Yep. It looks pretty nice. I'll get around this real quick and then we'll put some sealer on the inside of those beauty marks. I'm going to spend a little more time showing you the outside because I think I'll just do the inside when I'm done with this. Oh yes, I think it was worth it. See what we can do here. Don't look so bad now. Actually, it's going to look pretty nice with some finish in there. There it is. So, you can let me know what you think, but I know for a fact this was well worth turning. I'll get another coat of sealer on it, 2 coats of shellac, and I'll meet you back here. I have it flipped around, and this isn't really going to be a tenon removal because not wanting to cut into here, I recessed down so that I could make a tenon in the center section. I'll just be blending this down into here. And this is pretty rugged looking, and I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So I'll cut that down and we'll get it off and sand it. So this is all I'll be doing here. For about 650 RPM. And that is it right there. I'll go ahead and get this all sanded up and put a finish on it, and we will have a good look at this bowl. I think it looks pretty nice. Well, here it is. It is all done. I'm pretty happy with it, and I think it was worth turning. I'll let you have a good look at it, and you tell me in the comments if you think it was worth it. Yes, it has a lot of little things going on where the bugs got busy, and they really got in there and went deep. And most of these, there was still bug debris in it. I scraped them out, sanded up the edges so it's not sharp, and I think it looks good myself. So that's where there was some bark, and this kind of helped me decide which way to turn the bowl, and it also had a big influence on how thick the bowl had to get. These almost go all the way through. They're very deep, and so is that one. And the one that went almost through, that's right here where you can see where it didn't go through, but it looked like it wanted to. That was full of bug debris in the bottom, those 3 spots. I cleaned that out, and then I filled it with a patch that I've been using for years. It's called PL Fix. It used to be called Fix It, and it's something that you use lacquer or acetone to keep it soft so you can put it on. Dries fast, sands good, but it leaves something that looks like a patch. I took a brown Sharpie and I went over it and tried to give it something that looked somewhat like nature did it as best I could. I found out that when I used shellac on it, it kind of melted it away. So I did it again and sprayed it with lacquer. So I ended up finishing this whole thing with sprayed on lacquer, and I used Def Lacquer. Here's the bottom. I didn't dig the bug trail out of that. I left it. I soaked some shellac-based anti-sealer in it, sanded it, and then I sprayed the bottom with lacquer. Finished 9 inches in diameter. It's 4 1/4 inches tall, and I got it to just a little over 1/4 here, but because of this area, the rest of that's about a 1/2 inch. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think this is worth saving or not? I know I sure like it a lot, and I hope you do as well. If you did like the video, do me a favor and click that like button. And while you're there, it would be great if you could share the video around. Those 2 things will really help my channel grow. Leave a comment. I read them all, and I do my best to answer them all. Thanks to all my subscribers. And if you're not, please consider doing so. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.